The Boxing Voice.
Ladies and gentlemen, to the press conference where everyone is invited. And I mean it when I say how delighted I am to see each and every one of you here and to reiterate how much we appreciate your interest in this sport, keeping it alive. A lot of it has to do with you and your efforts, and it is not lost on us. One of the joys of my life, such as it is to be able to present a truly interesting and competitive big event. I would define that as one involving two top world-rated fighters in their division facing each other in a highly anticipated match where the outcome is in doubt. Today I'm pleased to present two bouts that fit that description. On March 14th, Sergey Kovalev will put his WBO, IBF, and WBA world light heavyweight belts on the line when he literally walks into the Lions Den at the Bell Center in Montreal to face former WBC and Ring Magazine light heavyweight champion and current WBC diamond belt title holder, Jean Pascal. This is a throwback fight in the truest sense of the word. Something that unfortunately we've seen rather infrequently in recent years. A reigning world champion was willing to face the best available challenger in the challenger's hometown in front of what we expect to be tens of thousands of the challenger stands. One thing I can say for sure is that it is going to be a spectacular night. And if that wasn't enough, in the co-feature, in what is planned to be a triple header on HBO in the US and presented on pay-per-view in Canada, Vyacheslav Glazkov will take on Steve USS Cunningham for the #1 position in the IBF heavyweight rankings. The winner will become the mandatory challenger to Vladimir Klitschko or whoever happens to hold the IBF title by the end of the year. Before we get a chance to hear the fighters and their handlers speak, I first want to thank HBO because without HBO, truly none of us would be here today. In addition, I need to thank the Parker Meridian for their kind hospitality, and specifically I want to say thank you to John Reisman for bringing us to your lovely hotel. John is not just the owner of the place, but a major boxing fan. And I would like to thank all of our sponsors, and you will hear more about them in a moment. And now, I wish to introduce my partner in the promotion of this fight. Jean Bedard of Interbox and I got to know each other for the first time when we sat down just a few weeks ago back in November to discuss this event. And this is the first time that our companies have really worked closely together on a promotion. I learned in a very short period of time that Jean and his team are professionals who are very talented at what they do and who keep their promises, and that's important to me. I certainly wish to thank them for their kind cooperation, their efforts to make this promotion run as smoothly as it has, and their professionalism. Working with John and his team has been like a breath of fresh air, and I sincerely hope that this will be the first of many ventures together. Please allow me to introduce to you Mr. Jean Bedard of Interbox.
Thank you, Kathy. Well, it's a privilege for Interbox to work with Kathy and Main Event because I think we share the same vision, bring the best fights to the fan, and that's what we want to work on March 14th. March 14th is a special night in Montreal because usually on Saturdays it's hockey night, but that night Sergey Kovalev and Jean Pascal will replace the Montreal Canadiens. Thank you to Evenco and the Bell Center who give us the opportunity to bring this major event in Montreal. As you probably know, Bell Center is one of the busiest sporting venue in the world, and it's a privilege for us to be able to make that fight. I would like also to thank HBO, the sponsor, and our partners to help us to bring this mega event in Montreal for our fans. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, John. Next up, Peter Nelson of HBO. Main Event's association with HBO began back in the 80s. In fact, it occurred to me that I'm not entirely sure that Peter Nelson had even been born when that started. In a span of a remarkably short period of time, Peter has managed to have a major impact on the sweet science, nurturing the careers of a new generation of stars at boxing's very best network, HBO. His clarity of vision is impressive, and I suspect that his contributions to our sport will be long-lasting and profound. It is my pleasure to introduce the Vice President of Programming for HBO Sports, Peter Nelson.
Thank you, Kathy. I wrote that right up for Kathy. I want to thank all the media for being here, and first and foremost, I do want to thank Kathy Duba. She's done an incredible job with the career of Sergey Kovalev, and this event is a continued culmination of that, and we saw it most recently in Sergey's historic landmark performance against Bernard Hopkins in his last fight, which we were privileged to be a part of, and this is just a continuation of that against one of the great competitors in the sport in any division, in Jean Pascal. So I also want to thank Team Pascal and Jean Bedard of Interbox for helping us to put together a phenomenal event, as well as the fighters' managers, Agus Klimas and Greg Leon. This fight is a signature event. It's not just another check of the box fight between two fighters with some skill. These are two elite fighters of the sport at a moment in their careers where they're looking to excel to a point where they can establish their legacy. There's no cure for mortality, but fights like this present as close to an antidote as we can find. And we're privileged to be associated with events that not only have such great main events, but have co-features that are equally competitive, have such amazing stories behind them, which the Glazkov-Cunningham fight does. Not just in terms of the humanity behind each of these fighters, but also in terms of the story that it's telling in the heavyweight division, as each of these fighters is on a road trying to challenge Vladimir Klitschko for the heavyweight championship of the world. Our start time is 9:45, and we look forward to a tremendous event. I really want to thank the press for rewarding a fighter like Sergey Kovalev and a fighter like Jean Pascal, who have always sought to fight the very best fighters available to them, and that resonates. That has an impact. Every time you write articles that validates their willingness to do that, the sport benefits from that. I think it was just Commitment who once said that you can't always change the world, but you can at least embarrass the guilty. And when fighters step up to the challenge, the sport is elevated and everybody benefits from that. So I want to thank everyone associated with this promotion and look forward to seeing you all in Montreal, 9:45. See you all there. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Peter. Now let's talk about the co-feature, the fight that all of you will watch while I cover my eyes. When we started our boxing series a few years ago on another network, we at Main Events made a commitment to help bring the long dormant heavyweight division back to the forefront. Last March, Sergey Glazkov earned the #2 position in the IBF when he defeated Tomas Adamek. Just 3 weeks later, former two-time IBF cruiserweight champion Steve Cunningham defeated Amir Mansour to win the USBA title in an emotional knockdown, drag-out Fight of the Year candidate. As it turns out, those two victories set the two of these men, both of whom are quite dear to me and to Main Events, on a collision course. Now they will fight each other in a really interesting and competitive match that has been mandated by the IBF and that has Fight of the Year potential written all over it. The fans are the ones who will win when this happens. And as I said, I'm sure not going to watch, but I highly recommend that the rest of you do. And so, to start, Steve. Isn't his name with you?
No.
I'm sorry. Okay.
I got a baby on
You got okay. I'm sorry. You threw me there. I thought Nazim was coming. I would like to say a few words about him. Steve's legendary trainer, for whom I have so much respect. He's one of the best in the business, and he's not just Steve's trainer. He's a member of his family, of this big, warm, extended family that has shared so much joy and sorrow together. They are, and I mean the entire Cunningham team and family, are living and inspiring examples of humanity at its very best. And I from my personal position, it's much nicer to be together on the same team with Nas than it was last time when he was in Hopkins' corner. So there we have it. So next I'm going to bring up Steve, who clearly is here to speak for himself. What can I say? Steve has faced some incredible challenges in the boxing ring. And that's a testament to his courage and his tenacity and his desire to be the very best in the world. During the past 9 years, he's faced even greater challenges outside of it. When he fought Mansour last year, Steve and his wife and manager, Libby, had been told that their young daughter, Kennedy, who had been born with a congenital heart defect, could not be saved. Last month, Kennedy proved those doctors wrong when she underwent a successful heart transplant. The entire boxing community pulled together to show their support of Kennedy and Steve and Libby's whole family as they helped enable them to move temporarily from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh, where the surgery was performed. Now the toughest member of Team Cunningham is regaining her strength. And her father prepares to step back into the ring and take the next step toward realizing his goal of adding a third world title, the heavyweight crown, to the 2 cruiserweight belts that he already owns. It is truly my pleasure to introduce to you the former 2-time IBF cruiserweight champion of the world and the current USBA heavyweight champion, Steve Cunningham.
Thanks, Kathy. That'll make me tear up over here. I'd like to thank first and foremost my God and Savior, Jesus Christ. I'd like to thank Main Events and especially HBO. I'm finally getting on HBO. I've been fighting for 14 years, man, and I kind of gave up fighting on HBO with Showtime. I just, I'm just continuing to do me since I fought in Europe so much. But, we built up some steam now, and I'm just happy. I'm excited and happy that I'm going to be on HBO finally. Everyone's talking about, before I get to the fight, everyone's been talking about, the situation with my daughter and our family and us being inspirations. And really, we've done nothing more than what you guys would have done in the same situation, My faith carries me, and we're very happy my daughter's doing great. So, and we thank everybody who's given to the fund, who allowed us to be there for her and be in this position to help her. Thank you. Now, on to the fight. I'm fighting, I think, my 4th undefeated heavyweight. I've been a heavyweight since 2012, 2011. Took a couple punches, I don't remember. But, this is my 4th undefeated heavyweight, so I'm here to show, guys. I'm here to show. I know boxing is the show business. You got to show every time you fight, every time you step in that ring, it's the show business. I'm here to show and continue to show and to just prove, I want to be heavyweight world champion. And, Czar, who is an awesome fighter, undefeated Olympian, skillful, hardworking, he's in my way of that, so when my trainer, Brother Nazim, comes up with the plan, whatever it is, I'm going to execute it, and I put all my heart and faith into what he puts into me, that plan he puts into me, we're going to execute it. So you guys, you've seen the heart, you've seen the skill, I just want to continue to bring that, and just thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve. Now, from the other side. I didn't know it at the time, but the day I met Aegis Klimas almost 3 years to the day ago, on a very cold day in January here in New York City, was one of the luckiest days of my life. He told Jolene Mazzone and I and me all about Sergey Kovalev that morning, and he convinced us to take a look at him. I am so happy that Aegis was so convincing. And that led to the signing of several other talented young fighters with Aegis, including Sergey Glazkov. Aegis handles 3 world champions at the moment, in Kovalev, Yevgeny Gradovich, and Vasyl Lomachenko, who head a very impressive stable of young fighters. And I think Aegis hopes to win his first world heavyweight championship with Sergey Glazkov. And in order to do that, he's going to have to win this fight. So to talk a little bit about Tsar, I'd like to introduce my friend, Aegis Klimas.
Thank you, Kathy.
For me, March 14th is going to be a double pleasure night. because I have two fighters fighting on the HBO, co-main event and the main event. But we'll be back for the main event. I just want to talk about the co-main event. Me and Tsar started working like 3 years ago. I convinced one of the Russian promoters he needs to bring him here in the United States if he wants him to make more popular. Himself, he just moved back like 6 months ago to United States because he was coming to the fights back and forth going, but now he resides here in the United States. He brought his wife, his daughter to Florida. Particular for this fight, we relocated to California, Oxnard, where he's going to be training. We brought a good trainer from Russia, where he used to train with him in the beginning, and I almost guarantee he's going to be 100% ready because as we already started the camp, he just flew in last night, and tonight he's back on the plane going back to training. So it's going to be a good night, and hopefully we can win and we can face till the end of the year, whatever who's going to be IBF champion in the heavyweight division, and see if that we can pull out. Thank you.
On to Sergey Glazkov, the NABF heavyweight champion. He came to the U.S. a couple years ago to seek his fortune in the boxing ring. He's had to endure quietly and carry on with his career as he watched his friends and family members suffer through the conflict in his hometown city of Lugansk in the eastern Ukraine. As they've suffered through that conflict, he's had to watch it from afar. He was brought to me by Aegis and my partner, Kirill Chelnikov of Kirill Productions. And he wishes to earn a shot at his fellow countryman Vladimir Klitschko and replace him as the world heavyweight champion. He made it clear to me the day we met him that he was willing to take on any challenge he had to get there. I will never forget the day that he suffered such disappointment when he learned that the first time his fight with Tomas Adamek was scheduled, that the fight had fallen out and that we had replaced him with another opponent in Garrett Wilson, and we were getting ready to have the press conference, and we got up on this podium, we had the press conference, we did everything, and we announced that Garrett was going to replace Adamek, and as I walked down the steps, Tsar looked at me and he just asked me one question: so is he right-handed or left-handed? That tells you everything you need to know about the kind of man that he is and the kind of competitor he is. And that's a big part of what makes us love him so much at main events, and I think what's going to make the fans love him. And so it is my pleasure to introduce to you Vyacheslav Glazkov.
Да, прошу прощения за то, что буду говорить на русском, еще английский в процессе изучения.
I'm very sorry I'm going to be speaking Russian, but because in process my English learning.
Да, в первую очередь хочу поблагодарить компанию Main Event, Кэтиду, Питера Нельсона, телеканал HBO за представленный шанс побоксировать на самом известном боксерском телеканале. И я максимально буду использовать этот шанс. Я осознаю, что для Стива Каннингема это будет последний шанс доказать свое превосходство. Ну и моя задача будет стоять в том, чтобы не дать ему использовать этот шанс.
Anybody wants to translate? I wanted to thank Cafe Duva Main Event Promotions. I wanted to thank HBO channel Peter Nelson. They're giving me opportunity to fight on the biggest boxing network. I know Cunningham is a good fighter, and it's going to be his last chance to show something in boxing, and he's going to be trying to do that very hard. And my point will be just to show what I am better.
Сейчас я тренируюсь с новым тренером из России, тренер чемпионов, это Виктор Петроченко, он тренировал Дмитрия Пирога, чемпиона мира. Он меня учит новым вещам, которые я буду показывать в ринге 14 марта.
Right now I'm training with my new trainer Viktor Petrochenko. He was a trainer for champion Dmitry Pirov, and he's showing me something new, and we're getting together pretty good. We're getting pretty good workout, and that's what I'm gonna to show March 14th.
Смотрите, поединок 14 марта, вас ждет большое шоу.
Watch the show on the 14th of March. It's gonna be a big show.
Thank you, Eddie. And, I want to echo that. I want you all to watch, and then you all let me know how the fight turns out, okay? And now, moving on to the main event. Again, I would like to ask my partner from Interbox, Jean Pascal, to come and introduce to you Team Pascal.
Thank you, Kathy. So first of all, I want to present, he's an ex-boxer who became a businessman. Greg Leon is the one who wonderfully manages Jean Pascal's career, and he's also the CEO of Jean Pascal Promotion. Donc, Greg Leon.
I want to thank everybody for coming out. We want to thank HBO, Main Events, a first-class organization. Interbox, I mean, what can I say? I've worked with a lot of promoters all over the world, and Interbox, from Jean Bedard, Pierre Duke, Ian Ettery, it's a first-class organization across the board. I'd like to take a minute to thank the Jean Pascal Promotions team, Femi Zelu, Mark Ramsey, Russ Amber, Roy Jones Jr., who couldn't be here, Rob Schinke, Angel Heredia, and Raven Brozier. Oh, hi, Roy.
What up? Is it English or Agnes? Agnes? Okay.
This fight here is about the best versus the best. I think we can all agree that Sergey Kovalev and Jean Pascal are the two best light heavyweights in the world who are willing to fight each other, and they should be commended for that. I think both boxers present challenges to each other that they've never faced before. Obviously, Jean's never been in the ring with somebody as strong as Kovalev, and Kovalev hasn't been in the ring with anybody as athletic as Jean. So boxing fans are going to be in for a real treat. We're expecting an exciting fight, an electric atmosphere with 20,000 Jean Pascal fans there. We see the odds. Jean Pascal called me last night and said, "Yo, bro, you believe they got me 4-1?" I said, "Well, that's what they had you with Dawson. So maybe we got to make a little bit of extra money on ourselves. We don't shy away from big challenges. We don't shy away from the odds." All credit to Kovalev. Kovalev is the true light heavyweight king. He's a monster. But we run towards monsters on Team Pascal, so we welcome that opposition. On March 14th, the best man's going to win, and the new champion will be crowned. Of that, I have no doubt. I'd also like to announce that Joel Diaz Jr., Jean Pascal Promotions boxer, will be facing Kevin Lavallee, another undefeated boxer, on the undercard. And we're looking forward to a great night of boxing and look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. Next one is he's the master trainer that simply makes his guy win, whether it's an amateur, Olympic, or professional boxing. The Quebecer coach doesn't need a presentation. Mark Ramsey.
Thank you, everybody, to be here with us today. First of all, I would like to thank HBO, Interbox, and Main Events to work together and give us that great opportunity to fight Kovalev. I'm very proud to be part of that fight, especially in an era where some fighter try to escape from real challenge. We have guys like Greg say, a true champion like Kovalev, who's not afraid to travel to defend his title. And we have guys like Jean Pascal who always look for, sure, the money fight, but also the personal challenge in boxing. And I'm very proud of you, Jean. And now Jean is already in the gym. The training camp start the real training camp start, the 8 weeks training camp start next Monday. We have 8 weeks to show that they have always a way to beat a fighter. And we truly believe that Jean Pascal have all the tools to achieve it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. So now it's a pleasure to introduce a warrior that never backs down from a fight. former WBC light heavyweight world champion from 2009 to 2011. He's now second in the world rankings with a record of 29 wins, including 17 knockouts in 30 fights. Je vous présente Jean Pascal. Here's Jean Pascal.
Thank you, Jean. First of all, I'd like to start by thanking God to giving us the opportunity to be here today. I'd like to thank my team, ThaBox, Greg Leon, the whole team of Jean Pascal Promotion, Main Event. They did a great job. This fight was an easy fight to make because, you know, titles, money that comes and goes, history don't. There's 3 belts on the line, you know, 3 belts, and we want to make history. This is the biggest fight in the Canadian history, and I really think that HBO wants to bring the best fight possible, so that's why they choose me to face Kovalev. I'm very glad. I'd like to thank Peter Nelson as well, HBO, for their visions, because to be honest with you, I don't even have Showtime no more. They show boring fights, so that's why I'm very glad of their visions. Also, Kovalev is a great champion. He's a solid champion. See what I can say about Kovalev. He can punch, right? He can punch. He got good speed. He's very well with his distance. It's gonna be very hard to beat because he does everything well. He has a good technique. I know that the odds are 4-1, but I love that. I love to be the underdog. As a boy, I watched Rocky IV when Balboa fight the crushing Russian, and right now I feel it's real. This is in real life. This is my life. I'm gonna face the crushing Russian, but I'm gonna beat the Black Balboa this time. So show up March 14. It's gonna be a great fight. You're down for what? For March 14, baby. I'm the best in the world.
All right, gauntlet has been thrown. You know, it's interesting, John mentioned that he's going to be the underdog, and I don't think Sergey's ever not been the favorite. I'm not sure he ever will not be, so he's going to be in a comfortable role as well. And so before I bring the unified light heavyweight champion of the world up, I'd like to introduce Agus again. Actually, if you can give me a moment. Sergey's very capable trainers. John David Jackson and Derek Santos are not here today, and I just want to recognize them for a moment. John and Derek, of course, helped prepare Sergey for that masterful win that he scored over Bernard Hopkins in November, and I have no doubt they're anxious to get back to work and help prepare him for this battle. And now I would like to invite Agus to tell us what he thinks.
Hello again, everybody. For me, it's a very, very big pleasure to represent a fighter who was by USA Today fighter, best fighter in the world. Sports Illustrated nominated him. Oh, that's all. I didn't see it. Yeah. Sports Illustrated, Bleach Report, New York Post, USA Today, Sherdog, Fighter of the Year. So, and I believe truly he proved it that. Everybody was thinking he just can knock people out, but to overbox Bernard Hopkins in his last fight, that was a really big challenge. He showed to all the world what he can box, and he has a lot of skills. Talking about this fight, Jean Pascal is a good fighter. He's the best fighter today in the division, besides Kovalev. The two good men gonna meet. Being in every single press conference, I heard a lot of people talking, I'm gonna beat, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, but in the very end, when it comes, sorry, you're a good fighter, I lost. But talking is always cheap, as we say. So let's bring those two guys in the ring and see who's gonna win. Thanks again, Kathy Du, and thanks HBO. Without HBO, we couldn't be here, as Kathy already told us. HBO did a really good job for Kovalev last year. Kathy did a really good job. As you probably already know, I told many times, nobody believed me. Then I walked Sergey for 18 fights without a promoter, putting my own money from a pocket, picking opponents, whatever, who we can bring you guys to this level. Thank you.
You know, that list, and I understand last night UCN Live was added to it, people that recognize why Sergey should be the fighter of the year. It's not just that he is so much better than everyone he fights, but the way he does it. The signature win, the masterful signature win, outboxing a great, legendary boxer. And I think, you know, that was just a little harbinger of what we're going to see next year or this year. I learned a long time ago that it takes a lot more than talent to make a great champion. And talent is just where you start. Then you add an incalculable amount of drive and ambition, and you top it off with a work ethic that is absolutely second to none. Sergey possesses all of those qualities. And on top of that, he is truly one of the nicest, most humble, loyal, and incredibly charming people I have ever known. I am so proud to be able to introduce him to you today, and so blessed that he chose Main Events to help guide his career. And I can say, not only is he one of the most electrifying performers I've ever had the pleasure to watch from ringside, he may be the most electrifying performer I've ever worked with. And if you look at the list of people I've worked with, that's a hell of a statement. He is just beginning, and I, as you should, look forward to having the opportunity to watch him again on March 14th and show us what he has in store for us going forward. But before I ask him to speak, I have a little surprise for Sergey. Can you get that for me? All right, you can hold on to that. You can hold that, yeah. Main Events has a tradition of creating world championship rings for our fighters when they win world titles. The last time he was in the ring, Sergey collected 2 world titles. The IBF and the WBA. So Sergey, the good news is that Joel McFadden and his wife Jen, the beautiful artist who created your first ring of Joel McFadden Designs in Red Bank, New Jersey, and they're here today, they've created some more beautiful jewelry for you. The bad news is because you won both belts at the same time, you only get 1 ring. So I'm pleased to present to you this beautiful work of art. And Agus, there will be a ring for you too, as well for John and Derek, and of course Don Turner, as soon as Joel finishes making each and every one of them as he does by hand. So you can look if you want, yeah. Maybe everybody wants to see it. Yeah. This one's a little flashier than the last one. We figured we'd give you a choice. Is it good? And Joel and Jen are here today. And for them, they do such gorgeous work. Everything was designed by them by hand. Every little inch of that Joel made by hand. Workers who are here today. They constantly move the other hand. You're gonna have to start wearing them. Maybe we'll make it bigger so you can put on your middle finger. We'll size it for you. Pinky ring. There you go.
No, it's fit, but need like push more.
We'll get it sized with the song now.
Oh, because I have the same.
I know you got your wedding ring. We don't want you to take it off. Yeah. Well, you don't want to take off your wedding ring anyway. We'll make it bigger so you can put it like, you know, on your thumb.
I like it a lot.
Or you can switch off. Whatever you want to do. Okay, sorry for the detour, folks, but this is the first chance we've had to give it to him. Now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the WBO, IBF, and WBA Unified Lightweight Light Heavyweight Champion of the World, excuse me, the great Sergey Kovalev.
Hello, everybody. First of all, I want to thanks for this great ring. It's very big complimentary from Katie Dewey from Jewel Masters. I always wearing this ring because I like it. I love this. and I sleep with this. Right now we sleep with this together. And okay, next one. I know that I nominated Fighter of the Year, but I didn't know that a lot of media chose me. Yes, I really appreciate it to these media who chose me Fighter of the Year. Very pleasure. I'm happy, and this pushed me more to show what I am, a real Fighter of the Year. This year for me, I think so, will be not less of big fights, because already I started this year with a very big fighter, Jean Pascal. Thank you to you for your respect, for your opportunity to fight me. For me, doesn't matter where I'm fighting, everywhere. If I'm true champion, I will be fighting everywhere with any fighter. Because this is sport, this is boxing for me, this is first of all. Also, I want to thank HBO and Peter Nelson personally for this opportunity to follow me everywhere and give me big chance in my life. Where I am, it's my team. It's my team, Katie Duva, main events, everybody, Aegis, HBO. Right now, I feeling that it's my team. I love you and bless you. We're going together forward here. Thank you so much for your come. And one thing I want to say, and everybody say before the fight with me that I will win, but I never say what I will. I never say never, because this is boxing. This is not sprint. This is not bicycles. This is boxing. Anything can happen with you tomorrow in the ring, but I never say never. You can repeat all my preparation to the fight. Like you can go to Big Bear, you can go up the hill more. Everybody can repeat my preparation to the fight, but nobody never can repeat my style. It's my thing in me. What gave me all victories and will give more. Thank you.
Do you have anything else that you want to say? You good? Okay. Then again, I want to thank the Parker Meridian, HBO, all our sponsors, including Hortizia, our Russian vodka that's been with us all this time, and we always appreciate your support. We all look forward to a great night of boxing.
The Boxing Voice.